Judge Frank Caprio, beloved star of Caught in Providence and a true symbol of kindness in the justice system, has passed away at the age of 88. His death marks the end of an extraordinary life that touched millions of people around the world, both inside and far beyond the courtroom. Today, we're looking at his journey, his legacy, his courageous battle with cancer, and the powerful reactions pouring in from fans, friends, and public figures alike. Frank Caprio's story begins on November 24, 1936, in the Federal Hill neighborhood of Providence, Rhode Island. Born to Italian immigrant parents, he grew up in humble circumstances, working as a dishwasher, shoeshiner, and even a milkman to help his family. Despite the challenges, Caprio was determined to pursue education. He studied hard, eventually earning his law degree while teaching history at Hope High School. This foundation, a mix of hard work, empathy, and community spirit, became the guiding force of his long career. In 1985, Caprio was appointed Chief Judge of the Providence Municipal Court. For nearly 4 decades, he presided over cases that might otherwise be dismissed as minor traffic violations or municipal disputes. But Caprio's courtroom was anything but ordinary. He transformed it into a place of humanity. His philosophy was simple yet radical: justice must always be paired with compassion. And with this approach, he turned what could have been mundane proceedings into moments that resonated deeply with people around the world. That unique approach is what gave birth to Caught in Providence, the television show that would make him a household name. The program began as a local broadcast but was eventually syndicated nationally between 2018 and 2020. With the rise of social media, short clips from his courtroom began spreading like wildfire. People shared videos of him listening to a struggling single parent, letting a child help decide a verdict, or dismissing fines for those who simply couldn't afford them. These weren't just legal rulings, they were lessons in empathy broadcast to millions. Soon, Judge Caprio became affectionately known as America's Kindest Judge. But his fame was never about celebrity in the traditional sense. He wasn't interested in Hollywood glitz or playing a character. He was authentic. Every smile, every gentle joke, every tear in his courtroom was real. He often said that when he saw people in front of him, he didn't see defendants, he saw fellow human beings, each with a story. That ability to humanize justice is what made his legacy so powerful and unique. By the late 2010s and into the 2020s, Judge Caprio had amassed an online following in the millions. Clips of his courtroom decisions have been viewed over 1 billion times across YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. For a municipal court judge, that kind of fame is unheard of. Yet he wore it humbly, never letting the spotlight change who he was. He would often say that the true credit belonged to the people who walked into his courtroom and shared their lives, not to him. Sadly, in December 2023, Judge Caprio shared a heartbreaking update with the world. In an emotional video, he revealed that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, one of the most aggressive and difficult cancers to fight. With his trademark humility, he asked the public for prayers, saying that faith and the support of others were his greatest strength in the battle ahead. From that moment on, fans around the globe followed his journey with immense love and concern. Throughout 2024, he underwent months of chemotherapy and radiation treatments, traveling frequently between Rhode Island and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston. Even during his treatment, he remained positive, often sharing words of encouragement with those going through similar battles. One of the most emotional moments came in mid-2024 when he rang the ceremonial bell to mark the end of radiation treatment. Surrounded by family and medical staff, he declared it his bell of happiness, bell of healing, and bell of hope. The moment went viral, with millions cheering for him and finding inspiration in his resilience. But cancer is a relentless enemy, and despite his strength, Judge Caprio's health continued to decline. Just a day before his death was announced, he recorded a final video message from his hospital bed. In it, he softly asked his supporters to continue remembering him in their prayers. His voice was frail but full of faith, and the video struck an emotional chord worldwide. It was his final gift to the public, a reminder of humility, grace, and courage even in the face of mortality. On August 20, 2025, the news broke that Judge Frank Caprio had passed away at the age of 88. His family announced that he died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, after his long and brave fight with cancer. Tributes immediately began pouring in from across the country. Rhode Island's governor ordered flags to be flown at half-staff in his honor, calling him a symbol of empathy in public service. Online, fans shared countless clips of his courtroom kindness, with many saying that his videos had restored their faith in humanity during some of their darkest times. One particularly emotional tribute came from a resurfaced video showing Judge Caprio surprising his longtime courtroom friend, Victor Colella, with a birthday cake on his 100th birthday. The friendship between Caprio and Colella, which had begun years earlier during a traffic case, touched millions of hearts. The video now feels like a time capsule of Caprio's essence, joyful, compassionate, and always focused on making others feel valued. Beyond the courtroom, Judge Caprio was a devoted family man. He and his wife, Joyce, were married for more than 60 years. Together they raised 5 children, and their family eventually grew to include 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. To them, he wasn't just the kindest judge, he was a husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. His family has expressed deep gratitude to the public for the outpouring of love during his illness and following his passing. Judge Caprio's influence was unique because it crossed boundaries. He wasn't a Hollywood celebrity or a political figure. He was a municipal court judge in a small city, yet his words reached millions around the globe. His legacy reminds us that true influence doesn't come from wealth or power, it comes from kindness. He proved that even in something as rigid as the justice system, there is room for humanity, compassion, and grace. As we reflect on his life, it's clear that Judge Caprio's legacy is not just about the cases he presided over or the rulings he made. It's about the message he carried, that justice can be fair without being cold, that authority can be compassionate without being weak, and that a little kindness can echo far beyond what we ever imagine. Judge Frank Caprio lived with purpose, served with heart, and left this world with dignity. He may be gone, but his words, his videos, and most importantly, his example will continue to live on for generations. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.